What's going on, guys? Adam and Tim here to bring you this week's fishing report. We finally got a nice thaw going on. We've got plenty of open water, so we will get into it in just a second here. A couple housekeeping things. First off, remember we are drawing for the gun bash raffle on March 1st, so make sure you guys come into the store or go to our website if you want in on that. We got a lot of great guns that we are going to be raffling off. Other thing, our spring kickoff event is going to be on March 7th and 8th. Tons of deals going on. If you've been following on our social media, you've seen all of the great discounts that we're going to have. But if you do have any questions, come into the store, call, DM us, any of the above, and we will get those questions answered for you. Now let's get right into this fishing report. We'll start off talking about rockfish. That bite is not very good right now. Those fish are cold and lethargic. Your water temps are kind of in the low 30s right now where most people are fishing. You might find some warmer water at the power plant, but again, I've heard a hit or miss bite there with some schoolies and some of your larger fish. If you do want to go out there and try and target rockfish, I would say downsize and slow down your presentation. So something like these GI Jig bunker spoons are going to be a really great option for you guys. They have kind of a nice slow fall, and they also are a little bit downsized compared to what we were throwing, before this big freeze, your 5, 6, 7-inch baits. So like I said, the bite is not great for rockfish right now, but if you do want to get out and try it, you can try the power plant. You can try the main stem of the bay at the mouth of the Patuxent. That's really where I've heard of things going on right now. But like I said, guys, it is still a tough bite. Now moving on to some other stuff in your tidal creeks and in your mill ponds, we're going to have some pickerel and yellow perch action going on. Tim, you want to tell us a little bit about the pickerel and yellow perch?
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully as we get some warmer weather coming in, the water's going to heat up a little bit. Pickerel will start being a little less lethargic. To catch them this time of year, you can employ your typical soft plastics. You can use some light jigs like these shad darts or these perch candy jigs by Captain Burt. These are also really effective for your yellow perch, your crappie, which are starting to spawn now. Really all the rivers and creeks on the eastern shore, and many of them on this side of the bridge as well, are going to start holding a lot of yellow perch as they go up to spawn. And it's just going to get better as the month continues to progress. So yeah, we're excited about that.
Absolutely. And you can do this stuff in a tandem rig. You can put minnows on the back. You can really fish them any way. It's just that nice, small, finessey profile is going to be what you want to do. In terms of some other stuff going on, non-tidal, like in your mill ponds, reservoirs, things like that. Still going to be pickerel, but also your largemouth bass. They're going to be starting to get a little bit more active. We are not quite in that pre-spawn, but we are also not in the dead of winter, so they're going to be a little bit more active. I really like a suspending jerkbait this time of year. These Shimano Flash Boosts, they're really cool. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of got that little shimmer in there. So when you're working it through the water and you pause it, it's still got a little shimmer going on in the bait, and that can be really attractive to predators like pickerel and bass. Place you can go catch those, like I said, your Eastern Shore mill ponds, your reservoirs by Baltimore, and also if you guys have any like neighborhood ponds and things like that, there shouldn't be too much vegetation right now, so you can throw things with treble hooks like your jerk baits there, and you might score a bite from a nice largemouth Larry. Moving on to some other stuff, we've got catfish right now. If you want to tell us a little bit about that, Tim.
Yeah, for sure. So getting to the time of year where you can start catching some blue cats in the main stem of the bay or the mouths of the rivers around here. Channels are also an option, especially if you go further up the creeks and whatnot. And really simple fishing. Just put a bottom rig like these on the on the bottom. Try to fish some deeper holes, like 20, 30 foot of water with just really any cut bait. Cut bunkers, probably the best if you can get it, or spot. Herring, mud shad, whatever you can find. Cut eel works really, really well too, especially if you can get some fresh stuff. And like I said, just simple fishing. Just put a piece of bait on the bottom and wait.
Yeah, and where can people go and target these catfish? I know there's certainly a lot of places, but where would you recommend for guys to go?
The Patuxent is always a great option that holds some big fish. Usually this time of year you can go fish the Potomac and do pretty well, but with that sewage spill it might not be advisable, especially if you want to keep some fish. Most of the rivers around here, the Magathie, the Severn, they're all going to hold catfish, especially if you get closer to the mouth, you can get in some decent blue cats. Yeah, really just any kind of just look at your charts, try to find some holes and ledges. And like I said, just put some cut bait on the bottom and have fun.
Absolutely, and any of those spots where you can fish from shore as well. Even in the main stem, like Mattapeak, Roman Coke, even Sandy Point, you might find some catfish off there this time of year. So moving on to one more thing, we've got trout stockings, which are happening right now. The DNR has started doing those trout stockings. You're going to want to take a look at the DNR website. They lay it out nice and cleanly for you where they've stocked fish, where you can go to catch yourself some trout. We make it really easy for you here in the store. You've got these grab and go trout rigs. All you got to do is tie it on. It's all set to go for you. And we've also got plenty of power bait. This here, we've got them in the little pellets already, so it's nice and easy for you guys going to do some trout fishing with power bait. If you didn't want to use power bait, you could always use mealworms or night crawlers. And if you wanted to use lures, I always like an inline spinner for stock trout. It seems to get them going. As far as some other stuff going on, I have heard of some people going out on the wrecks off of Ocean City on the coast and catching some flounder. It's hearsay right now. I haven't heard anything crazy, but I did see a couple pictures of guys catching some really nice doormat flounders out there. So if you wanted to go for a nice shot in the dark and maybe get some flounder, that would be a good option too. Besides that, guys, that's what we got going on right now. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.